I mean, I always just
Hey
found
everybody,
things to be a
welcome to
waste
Lesser
of
Saints
money.
Discord. This is weird because I can't see when the transitions happen. So now I'm sad.
Oh, that camera, Jesus Christ.
Oh. Oh, that's got a different flavor to it. I don't know if I like that.
What? Did
That
you try
better,
Kanye's
Jables?
crown? Yeah, thank you.
No, I ran out of
got here
sugar.
late from work, so.
I ran out of sugar, and Dad at some point bought like this stevia leaf powder for like doing sugar-free things. Like, okay, I'll try and make a syrup out of that to put in this iced tea I brewed, and it's different.
Stevia's not bad, but it's not a one-to-one sweetener.
No.
Yeah, it's better than some others.
I think
Monk
I'll
fruit's
use that
also
fucking,
pretty good, but it's definitely got more of a minty menthol type taste to it.
Well, that's the thing is, like, I've got another one in here up in like the closet. It's like a monk fruit blend. It's like monk fruit blended with something else.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see. What does this say? Where are your ingredients?
Yeah, if you don't like mint, don't try monk fruit. It's pretty simple.
Yeah, this one blends stevia and monk fruit. It's supposed to taste more like sugar. And it does, to its credit. I like to use it in my hot tea.
Yeah.
So I'll probably use that instead, because the straight stevia, it's not quite doing it for me.
Sorry, I'm still trying to set something up over here on my end. My bad. How was your guys this week? Jesus Christ.
The week was alright. I
I'm
picked
failing.
up a job.
Cool. Who left it laying around?
Oh, some jackass at the hall.
Oh, okay.
I've mostly been hiding inside so that I don't melt and die.
Yeah.
So we're still going through a bit of a heat wave over here.
One of my metrics when driving the ice cream truck, if I haven't stopped often enough, is if I start getting cold, because the AC is on full blast. Yeah.
You know, like just the other day, like it started pouring down rain for a little bit. It didn't last very long. But like almost immediately after the rain had stopped, like all of the roads in the area were so hot and just like so progressively baked over the last several days that just like all of the water that came down immediately started evaporating. It looked like smoke was wafting up off of all of the roads.
Oh, that's really cool looking, but makes me really sad because I know that just means I'm gonna be sticky later.
Yeah, it's just like, oh wow, instant fog. Man, it's fucking hot.
Yeah.
Yeah, like almost immediately after that rain stopped falling, it became like a fucking. It was like the fucking Amazon, basically. It's like, oh my god.
Yeah. Everything's just wet. It's one thing I remember,
Yankee.
like living in Seattle, like a hot, humid day, you would take a shower just to sort of like do like a reset and stop feeling so gross. And 5 minutes later, after you dry off, you're just wet and sticky again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fortunately, I have.
No.
I've got central forced air in the house, so it doesn't get overly humid inside, which is a bit of a problem in the winter, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I really should get a humidifier for the colder months.
Just make a lot of dishes that require you to boil stuff.
Oh no, like I won't turn the stove fan on if I'm boiling anything. I'll leave the bathroom door
Bubba.
open while I take showers
Can you-
during
Bubba.
the winter, just so that moisture spreads throughout the house.
Yeah.
Because otherwise my nose dries out so bad it'll start bleeding.
Yep. The lack of moisture here has gotten me to drink a lot more water. I'm just noticing, like, I'm just drying out.
Well, I say I'll get like the bloody mucus thing like in the mornings. I haven't had a proper nosebleed in years. I used to get them all the time.
Yeah.
In fact, there was one particularly unfortunate incident at my grandmother's house where I was in her little bathroom, which was like, it's like just off of the kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt a sneeze coming on. But
Yeah.
what I didn't realize is that I was also getting ready to have a nosebleed. Like I was like right on the brink of one.
Nice. Been there.
So I sneezed in front of the bathroom mirror. And when I opened my eyes, it was just like, oh God. It looked like a fucking murder scene in there.
Yeah. You lost your brain. It actually happened.
Yeah, that was not
You're
fun.
welcome, Bubba.
I've had something similar but different. I was just like hot and I'm just relaxing, drinking a beer. And I feel like my nose is starting to run a little bit. And I have allergies, so it like wouldn't be uncommon for just like a random runny nose. And like I do the check, to see if there's blood. And no blood. So I was just getting a runny nose at first. And I just went to the bathroom to grab a tissue. Then I take a drink of my beer and I just fail at drinking and just inhale it. Or like a bubble pop or something. I start choking. And that choking started a nosebleed. So now I got blood and beer just shooting out of my nose into the sink.
Oh God.
And it's just a bad, just bloody beer in the sink. It was a pretty heavy flow day too.
Night officially ruined.
Well, I wasn't like. It was like my third beer. It was just like the relaxing after work beer.
Mm-hmm. Your body's like, oh, you think you could just take it easy? You think things are fine, do you? Huh?
Guess who has to clean the bathroom now? It's too hot. Yeah. Also in winter, like I couldn't leave the bathroom door open when I showered because the steam was enough to set off the smoke detector in the kitchen.
Yeah.
And having to waddle naked and soaking wet to go and try to reach. I'm tall enough to reach it, kind of. Like I'm like half an inch too short from being able to easily reach it. Like I have to go full tippy toes and maybe like really stretch it. So that was an annoying thing. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
Of course, like the bastard thing with blood is that like if anything more than just like a small amount of it gets out onto anything, like you have to clean it up quick because it almost immediately starts to smell.
Yeah. Hey, Edendro.
Oh, haven't seen that name in a while.
Yeah. How you doing, Ed? Also, yeah, Dina, I had a bloody nose. It was a pretty heavy flow night.
This is why he
Thanks for
still
catching the
has
joke.
tampons despite being male.
They're great for bloody noses. I don't know what else to tell you.
Good for gunshot wounds too.
Wasn't that why they were invented?
Nope.
Or was that just a secondary use that they found later?
Yeah, it was a improvisational thing.
Yeah.
Like, it's not ideal, but if it's what you got, it's what you got.
Yeah, like, yeah, sometimes it's like if you gotta plug a hole, you gotta plug a hole.
Yeah.
And they're really
Or-
good at that.
In the case of Kentucky ballistics, you shove your thumb into your own neck to keep yourself from bleeding
Just
to
put a
death.
thumb in it.
Yeah.
That footage is still
Okay.
gnarly as fuck to watch. It's just like, oh,
I've never seen it.
just like catastrophic failure.
Yeah, I think my mental health has gotten a lot better since I stopped seeing a lot of those videos. All the gore and stuff.
Yeah. Ever since Live Leak got taken off the web, it's been a different place.
Yeah, my quality of life has gone down.
They still show a bunch
Could you put
of
that back
deaths
in the
on
kitchen,
iFunny.
please?
Are you talking to your wife?
My son.
But yeah, you're like,
Is he taking your wife
We've
back to
all-
the kitchen?
No.
Yeah, like,
he's not bringing the
anybody of a
dishwasher
certain
back into the
age-
kitchen.
with internet access, like we've all seen our fair share of people going in pretty spectacular and horrific ways.
Yeah. Some you don't even expect. It's like, what's this video about? Whenever I start seeing a video and I'm like, what's happening here? I'm like, you're really taking a gamble on continuing to watch it.
Yeah, and sometimes you misjudge the point of no return, where it's just like, maybe I should click it.
Oh,
Fuck,
sweetie, made
he's
it.
dead. Fuck.
Sweet, he made it, and then out of nowhere, a drone just comes in and slices his head off.
Brandon Herrera's Darwin Awards videos.
I
Yeah,
haven't seen him.
I think the one that fucked me up the most so far watching those was the guy in the convenience store that was just like fucking around with the pistol behind the counter. That was
Oh,
bad.
yeah?
Yep, he looked right down the barrel, and your life subscription is canceled.
He decided to paint the walls. Or more accurately, he unintentionally painted the walls.
Oh.
Yeah, it's like whenever you see somebody in one of those videos where it looks like somebody's just shoved a flagpole up their ass, yeah, it's over.
I think the last, like, wild gore video that I accidentally saw, because I still see them from time to time. It's the internet. There's no escaping. I'm on it all the time.
Yeah, I would still check out the Brandon Herrera ones, because he does censor them on YouTube.
Okay. The last one,
Also, he talks
I
about
saw
the
was-
rules of gun safety.
Yeah, it's about
yeah, that's
gun safety. It's not about, look at this dumbass.
yeah.
It's like,
last
this
one
is
I
what you
saw
did
that-
wrong.
Last one that I saw that, like, kind of gave me the squirmies a little bit was this guy was a taller guy, and he's walking up to a helicopter that's running, and he's just a little too tall for where the blades are.
Ooh.
And gave him quite the haircut. He lived though. But you hear it just real quick, and then he drops down. But he lived.
Yeah.
Just like shaved off part of his skull.
He got fucking lucky is what he did.
Yeah, he did.
There's a reason
like,
people kneel down
if he walked,
in movies.
If he just like walked on his toes a little bit more, goner. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I can even describe the gnarliest one I ever saw on here.
Oh, that wasn't gnarliest. That was the latest. That was just one that I accidentally saw somewhere.
Glad to see you're alive,
Ed. Glad you're alive, Ed. Yeah. All right. So, speaking of internet stuff, oh wait, no, it's an advice one. We can talk about that one later. I don't really know what to talk about today.
Yeah, I mean, we can just talk about shit. That'd be cool, but what exactly is this shit we're gonna talk about?
There's potentially a picture of me floating around a bunch of neighborhood Facebook groups.
Why?
So, I almost got into a fight selling ice cream.
Yes, we need to know this story. What the fuck?
I'm just out there slinging creams, you know, as I do.
I hope you saying something like that started it.
Nope, it had nothing to do with that. That would make a lot more sense. Because that's just vulgar. It's vulgar on purpose. That's why
someone might reasonably take offense to that.
Yeah.
I told my dad that, though, and he thought it was funny. So, yeah. I'm selling ice cream, everything like that. Everything's going fine. And then at one point in the day, this truck pulls up. I recognize the whole family. I've sold ice cream to them a couple of times. This is like my third or fourth time in this neighborhood. And Dad gets out with his like older teenage son and then like an 11, 12-year-old son. And he's like, what I heard was, did you charge $10 for ice cream? Did you charge my kid $10 for ice cream? And I'm like, maybe. It depends what he bought. And he starts going off. He's like, no, my son bought one ice cream, and he says you charged him $10 and said you were charging a cash fee. I'm like, nope, wasn't me. I would never say something like that. And he keeps going off on me. He's like, you better give my son his fucking change or you're going to have a hard time in this neighborhood. I'm like, I didn't do whatever you're saying I did. And then this goes on for like 30 seconds. Felt like a year. Because it's...
Yeah, it usually does.
This guy wanting to fight me.
I'm suddenly reminded of that dude that wanted to fight me one morning at the gas station over pizza.
Yeah. So
that guy, or
then I'm like, so I'm thinking, there were times that I was busy today, and like I didn't remember in the moment, like the whole interaction with this kid. Maybe I did forget to give him his change, but I would never say we charge a cash fee. And I said that to the guy, and I was like, "Hey, if it makes you feel any better, I'll just give you $6.50 right now. I don't remember what you're talking about. I don't remember exactly what your kid got. But if I forgot to give him his change, here's $6.50 regardless out of my own wallet. Hope we're good. I just trust me when I say I would never say that I charge a cash fee, and I would never charge a cash fee, period." And then
Yeah, because you'd lose your job.
yeah, and then he was like, "Well, if you didn't do it, then don't pay him." And I'm like, "You're the one."
Are you trying to fight me now because I
Fair
didn't
enough.
do it?
My brain is saying, "Well, then stop being so aggressive towards me, you fuck." What I actually said was, just take it, and I hope we're good. Whatever. It's $6.50 out of my pocket. It's fine. I made like $30.
It's only
in tips
half
that
of
day.
my
It's okay.
tips.
I made $30 in tips that day. It's fine.
Yeah, so it's more like a fifth.
Yeah. Plus, I make like $30 in tips a day. It's on average, sometimes more, sometimes a little less.
Bill,
Not a big
a
deal.
fifth of your tips is pretty significant. Yes, Dina, slinging cream. Were you not here last week?
Pretty
No, she
sure that
wasn't.
was the week before last week.
I've been doing it for probably 2 weeks now. Yeah.
Who knows?
So that all ends. He drives away with this kid, and I'm trying to remember what the fuck happened. And like I'm trying to place the kid and trying to think of like what he actually got and how everything actually played out when I sold this kid ice cream. And then his big giveaway was he was wearing a necklace. I didn't recognize him at first because he was wearing a helmet and sunglasses because he was riding around his scooter earlier. But he had a very specific necklace. And I put two and two together. And this was a kid that was riding around telling one of the other neighborhood kids, "Hey, dude, I'll buy you ice cream if you want." Like, I got money. Kid bought 2 strawberry shortcakes and a bomb pop, which comes out to $10. A little while later, the guy starts calling my boss and just screaming and yelling at him, not letting my boss respond to him at all to like try to get the story and all that jazz. And by the way, Nick's talking in the YouTube chat.
Oh. Hello there.
And my boss calls me. He's like, "Okay, so what the fuck is going on with this $6 that this guy's yelling at me about?" I tell him the whole story. And I tell him the conclusion that I came up to after the fact.
Tell him that this guy's son is a lying little shitheel.
Yeah. Nick, wrong waiting room. Yeah, and so my boss is just like, "Okay." And then the guy still keeps like blowing up my boss's phone. And then my boss calls me back eventually. He's like, "Hey, just want to let you know, I believe that you didn't steal that money. I don't know what the fuck this guy's on about, but I believe you, and I'm sorry you're going through that. And I just want to let you know, it's all good. That guy's being crazy right now." The guy was like threatening to call lawyers and shit. Over $650.
Christ.
And
Not
like
even
talking about how he's gonna ruin the business and everything. Yeah. Especially
Man,
since I just pulled out of my own wallet $650. Which my boss did pay me back when I got back to the garage. He's like, here's that 650 back, dude. Like,
Damn, man, you got a turbo, Kevin.
yeah. Yep. And he had his teenage son take a picture of me, which is probably circulating around some Facebook groups and stuff. So yeah. That's that. A man tries to fight me and then says if I didn't do something, don't have to pay his kid back, but I have no way to prove whether or not whatever happened except for the fact of the cash fee thing, which is something I would never say. So that's it.
This sounds really white.
Really?
What
By the
gave it
way,
away?
from dad's perspective, his son just told him that an ice cream man just stole from him. I understand the anger from the dad.
Yeah.
I think he went a bit far.
Yeah.
But I understand his anger. To the little kid, fuck you, little kid. You're a little shit. I'm never selling ice cream to you again. You fuck.
Yeah. I said you're a lie. Your son's a lying shit heel.
No, unless he pays me back that $650 and apologizes to me in front of his dad, I'm not selling him ice cream anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, that's something that a lot of people I think don't realize or don't remember. It was something that was very prominently put into me during training when I worked Circle K. Is that we can refuse service at any time, and we don't have to give you a reason.
Yeah. But I'll sell ice cream to meth heads, crackheads, coke heads.
But you don't have a whole lot of other clientele in your area, so you work with what
Well,
you got.
actually, you'd be surprised. I go to some pretty affluent areas.
Listen, stop pretending that meth addiction is limited to just poor people, okay? Like,
He's not in fucking Seattle
aff-
anymore.
yeah, no, listen, you give some meth or some bath salts to a rich fella, and he's gonna be like, wow, I feel like better than like I have since.
But they keep it under
I divested.
control. They keep it under
No, they
control. It's
No, they just go to
Yeah.
expensive rehabs and they get clean for 6 months and then they get back to it. Listen, it's the same thing with ice cream. You got to get these people hooked on the sugar, and then
It's America.
own
They're
their-
already hooked on the sugar.
exactly. You're entering a market that's already been established. It's
Yeah.
exciting times.
And I go to your home, Nick. The business plan is foolproof. I already know this. I'm doing it now. That's-
fucking like my girlfriend asked me
we
what's your
we even
5-year
take cards
my
and
my
we even take
girlfriend
cards
asked me
and
what
tap to pay. That's
I had a girlfriend once ask me, "What's your 5-year plan?" And I'm like, "Oh," and I failed to give the Mitch Hedberg joke, marking the 5-year anniversary of this conversation. But no, you've dude, like you need to be an ice cream baron in Washington State. People need to fear you. Be like, "Oh, yo, you don't want to piss him off because otherwise you're not gonna get any ice cream."
yeah. We're the only truck that goes to that area.
Exactly.
We could cut off
And
that
you know
entire
what?
neighborhood.
Dude, spray tan yourself and see if ice will just fucking brutalize you, and then you can get on like the news and be like, yeah, I was just working for my own small business, Jables Ice Cream Factory. It's exclusively in Spokane, but
Yeah.
it's artisan ice cream. Do it.
The camera
Get the
doesn't
press.
show it right now because of settings. I'm pretty tan right now.
I can see you on camera, and no, you will not pass. You are not dark enough to get abducted by the Gestapo yet.
No,
You need to...
the way the settings are.
Oh,
Yes.
okay, yeah.
I
So
will
yeah,
not pass the darkness test.
No, you will not. fucking the paint. They're gonna hold the paint swatch up, and they're like, nah, he's probably born here.
No. Yeah. That's just because of the settings and the lights. So you know how that works.
I dare you. Like I saw it. I guess I think it was like a fucking some game, but like a hot dog vendor put a thing up. It's like free hot dogs for ICE agents. Please show ID. Just do that. Be like, hey, if you work for ICE, come here and let me photograph your face, and I'll give you an ice cream. And you need to sign this waiver because I can do whatever I want with this photo.
Yeah. Anywho.
You know what? I'll be honest with you though. When you got into like when you first told me, you're like, yeah, I'm gonna be an ice cream man. I was so happy. I'm like, yeah, this is gonna work. This is gonna work out great.
Yeah. It's a fun job.
And
I'll do it next summer too, part-time. But yeah.
Yeah. It's weird because it turned out like I thought it would be I thought it'd be great in that funny disaster way, but instead it's like, no, you're now like a pillar of a community, and you're like getting grandmas yelling at you, and then other grandmas being like, yeah, I'll adopt you. And
by the way, I did run into Grandma P again. She was very sweet.
Yeah.
I don't know if I told the story on the show. It was just a sweet old lady that just came out and was like, oh yeah, I'm so happy you're doing this. Kids are running around, you're playing music. I was a music teacher, all that. Ran into her again. And she's like, she didn't remember me because this was like a month ago that it happened. And she was like, well, it's just nice. I just wanted to introduce myself to you. I'm like, I remember you, Grandma P. And she's like, oh my God, how do you remember me? I was like, it's just a couple weeks ago. You left an impression.
Did you give her an ice cream cone? Did you give her an ice cream cone?
Yeah. Yeah, and then we're trading ice creams for she's making banana cake.
This is why this show this is why this show will never take off. It's way too wholesome.
I am not a wholesome person. I keep trying to tell Dina this.
You're making the assumption that I'm wearing pants.
You're making the assumption that I'm wearing pants.
You're making the assumption that I'm a respectable fucking person.
I'm an existentialist and a doctor of metaphysics. What even are pants?
Yeah, I also have my doctorate in metaphysics. So,
I'm reliably informed that cranes are a metaphysical construct. Some people will get that reference.
Yeah. Who was that? Matthew Striegel or whatever.
Oh, Jables, actually, I meant to actually reach out to you about this, but now that we're on a public platform that like millions of people are listening to, well, the other night I was like, I want to find something to watch. Everyone needs to watch The Rehearsal by Nathan Fielder. It is one of them. It is one of the most goddamn bizarre.
Is that the Nathan for You guy?
Yeah, this is one, just to give you the premise, and I'm pretty sure he's probably autistic as fuck, but like he designed this thing where he decided it would be, he could help people if they approached him with situations they were uncertain with, and he could set up rehearsals, and that's with an HBO budget, so it's like, so he'll rebuild a person's entire apartment or an entire house in a warehouse as a set.
Nice.
So that
I've heard about this.
So that he and actors can sit down and go through what might happen in a conversation before the conversation happens. It is, I love it.
That sounds like a great business for rich people to try to use.
It is so, the show is so fucked. I'm not gonna give anything away, but except for this because it was in the press. The second season, he decided he wanted to tackle airline safety, and he came to this conclusion, or this theory at least, that it was communication in the cockpit, which was one of the biggest problems in airline safety.
I heard about this.
Yeah, and he got to a point where he got his pilot's license, he trained in the simulator and got his commercial pilot's license, so he was like legit to fly an Airbus. And yeah, he flew a full flight from LA to the I think it was like the Nevada border and then back. It was like a 2-hour flight, and he flew it the whole time just to prove a point. But I can't say anymore without giving shit away. But
it's already been spoiled. It's already been spoiled for me. I know what you're talking about. His interactions with the pilot. I did see a clip of that.
Dude, that when we talk tip of the iceberg shit in terms of like how fucking weird the social experiment level of this goes, the first season is a true and proper mind fuck.
Yeah.
And the second season is oh my god, I need HBO to just give me money so I can do these things I've been dreaming of to fuck with people and learn about the world. But holy shit, I'm sorry, I just wanted to express that. Like, everyone should watch that show. Like, pirate it if you fucking need to.
Yeah.
In Minecraft.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah,
also,
don't actually
got my mom to watch Fight Club. Since we're on the subject of like movies and stuff.
She was all about like wow, this seems a little gay. And you're like, yeah, ma, super gay.
Super gay. No, she actually really liked the movie. She thought the twist was super cool. And she was just like, she had one of those like, okay, a lot of this makes sense now sort of moments.
Maybe
she wasn't into the whole philosophy and everything like that. She's like, it's an interesting idea, but whatever. She's not going to go full Fight Club.
The worst part about Fight Club and the people who like fall into the philosophy is that they're like, "Oh, I'm a nihilist now." It's like that. No, that's not the point. No. I read some Nietzsche quotes on Facebook, and I'm a nihilist now. It's like you really don't know what you're doing here. Stop, please.
Yeah.
Rimshee, did I fucking steal your thunder?
I think you did.
No.
It feels like it. You're just like, I'm just gonna sit back and manage my starship or some shit. And...
This is all pre-recorded.
Yeah, pre-recorded.
Oh.
Gotcha, bitch.
That's how I'm able to move it without having my hands here.
I thought you had a Neuralink.
No, that doesn't get installed until next week.
I'm a disabled vet. We all get them, whether we want it or not.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then he gets a microchip in his brain so that he can start his car from his bedroom or some shit. I don't know.
Well, as long as they don't get the wires crossed and I start something else.
I gotta say...
by the way... What?
Oh, I was just gonna say something I've loved about the evolution of conspiracy theories over the years, right? Is, so we're kind of in an age right now where all this shit Alex Jones was screaming about is actually happening, but he's fine with it, apparently. But at the same time, I was always saying, like, all those idiots were like they're gonna force us to get microchips in us. It's like, no, they're not gonna force us. They're just gonna convince us that, hey, isn't this cool? Wouldn't you like to have a microchip in your hand that can start your car and one in your brain that can like make you come whenever you want or whatever it might be?
I mean, just look at this.
In theory, it is super cool.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, if you had a come button like a lady does, you could just press it whenever you wanted. Can you really say
isn't she wearing pants?
Because pants
Would you be wearing pants at home?
Haven't we already gone over this?
Wait,
pants?
no, I do. Yeah. I do wear pants at home because I live with my parents currently. So.
No, actually, hang on. If you look at it, she's wearing shoes. She might just be wearing white pants, and you know what that means, fellas.
I think those are just socks. I think those are comfy toe socks.
Either way, it's go time.
It's just...
I wear sweatpants at home.
See, living in a bus in Louisiana, I have genuinely leaned into the underwear can be pants if you wear underwear, and if not, you know what? Swim trunks are perfectly reasonable shorts for a human being.
Well, yeah. As far as anybody knows, you're either about to go swimming or you just came back from swimming. Doesn't matter.
It's so hot here, doesn't matter. Fucking, honestly, dude, this place, it's like the sky will be like bright blue and sunny, yeah? And I'll just hear thunder from 4 directions, and the storm will not show up. And then out of the blue, it'll just be like, hey, it's gray now. What's happening? Oh, you're gonna get struck by lightning.
This is called death.
This is called why you don't live in
weather rituals.
Yeah, it's like this is why the French were the only people who wanted to live here. Why? Because it's sticky and gross, and they can have all the ennui they can imagine.
Yeah,
and then you end up with Cajuns.
Mm-hmm.
You go get that guerra now, huh? Yeah.
We got a similar problem here where it's like, oh, what's the forecast for today? Oh, it's clear. Things will be good then. Go out, start doing stuff in the yard. Damn, where the fuck did that thunderhead come from? Oh shit.
Yeah. That's how like spring and fall are here. When you're actually in the winter, it's pretty level. When you're in the summer, pretty level. For the most part, you might get a surprise storm every once in a while, but.
Have you ever thought, I just love though, like I moved here in February and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna get closer to New Orleans. I love that place. And everyone's like, you don't want to go to New Orleans anymore. Like, why not? Do you have a gun? Yeah, bring it. And then it's just like, all right, cool. Well, I'll live in this like suburb thing across the lake. And I'm just like, hey, I live near a river. That's cool. And the body of water and this and that. And then I'm seeing on like the news and my fucking social feeds like, oh yeah, so we can't predict hurricanes anymore. They took all that money away, so it'll be a surprise.
Good luck.
What? Hang on. Why did I come here again? Oh no, I think I made a mistake.
Yeah.
We're all gonna die.
But speaking of New Orleans, if you're still there for Skankfest, I might be able to fly down.
That could be fun. That could be
maybe not though. I don't know. It really depends.
I mean, Ari Shafir, like, I could just imagine like Katrina 2.0 hitting just before Skankfest, and Ari Shafir shows up.
Ari's not going to be there.
Like, oh, is he going back to Israel?
No.
Going to the idea.
I think he's like just gonna backpack through South America or something this time.
Dude, I hope Theo Von is there because I really want to get him to heartfully change his opinions about things. Apparently, he's really easy.
I don't think they care about that at Skankfest. It's called Skankfest.
Yeah, I know. It's like, yeah, but if anybody gives a shit about Theo Von, I mean, ugh, come on. Let's not.
I think Theo Von might show up. They get a lot of big name comedians to show up, but they aren't contractually able to say that they're showing up because of contracts with like theaters and arenas in those areas. So
Big J Okerson's gonna show up with his haircut and be like, "I'm legally required to tell you that Limp Bizkit has a new album coming out."
He's one of the part owners of the festival.
Did I fucking lie? Fucking celebrity comedy though. I can't wait. I want to go do an open mic at the Mothership in Austin. They don't have open mics. No, I'm just gonna shout at the bartender a bunch. It'll be fine.
Why you stop? I don't like what you're doing. I don't like what you're doing right now. It's not conducive for our show.
Oh, should we get back to ladies without pants?
Yeah, it's kind of a thing.
Put more ladies without pants on your shared screen.
We can't do
That
too
actually-
much
I'd
of
love
that because
to,
we are on
but
Twitch.
yeah, I think this is about as close as we can get without getting banned.
Yeah.
Although, if we're being entirely fair with ourselves, what the fuck's the point of us even streaming on Twitch anymore?
I'm watching it on YouTube.
They have a better chat
Yeah.
and the raid system.
That's about
and,
it.
Better chat, raid system.
The raid
And,
system doesn't even get used anymore. Not
We
for
don't
us,
raid
it's-
anyone. No one fucking raids us.
Well, none of our friends
I
stream
think
anymore, so
I think we all need to just come to terms with the sad reality that we are old. We're
Yeah.
old people.
we've accepted that.
I
Nick,
got
Nick,
an
what do you
email-
think
I
we're
got a-
trying to do with this show? I want to
be
hear
old-
your.
be
I feel
old.
older than I am, and I don't like it.
You want to know? You're like basically this is a time capsule from time when like streaming was actually fun and not just like some like roach coach like long haired unwashed degenerate. you know.
I mean,
like
I
no,
I have yet to shower today, so.
oh, me too. No, we are all
Yeah,
unwashed
same.
degenerates. I'm just saying it's like, we're not Asmongold here. We know this. And that's the thing, is like that's what streaming's become, and everyone's like, when are you gonna start streaming again? I'm like, yeah, it'd be fun. And then I look at what popular streamers are like, oh wait, hang on, so I'm not allowed to bathe?
Yeah.
Or like
Well, I like to tell my wholesome ice cream stories. Try to turn this ship around. Let's get better.
let's turn
I mean,
this ice
personally,
cream
there's a
truck
reason
around.
I'm never on camera. Nobody needs to see this shit.
Oh, you're fine. You're way too
Hell,
hard
this
on
is my
yourself,
work
bud.
shirt, so.
How would you know? You've never seen my face.
How would you know I've never seen your face?
See that's a weird thing to think about though, is like, we live in an age now where like streamers are all like, hey, so here's my face and my fucking Habsburg jaw and shit, and let me tell you my thoughts about Israel. And like
Nick,
we
you
came
just
out
think
of a
that
time.
you're higher than yourself because you hid your identity for so long.
No. That's the funny thing is like face reveals used to be a thing. Like it used to be like, oh wow, I've followed this creator and they've had like this avatar or this cartoon or whatever.
Face reveals still are a thing. I think the biggest one was like a year or two ago.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
usually
long.
for VTubers at this point, though.
Yeah, and I mean, let's be honest, like half of the VTubers are just like, by the way, I got an OnlyFans. Oh, wow.
I
No,
am
there's
shocked.
there's a lot of great VTubers out there, like Alicia X Life. Great VTuber.
Great
She
channel.
also has like a
OnlyFans.
she also has a full like it's a full body thing, so when she's moving her arms or any motions that she makes with her face at all, it's not just like general set things.
Oh, well, I mean, I
she
found
clicks to.
one.
And unlike
No,
a lot of
I-
people, it's not her full revenue either. She actually owns 2
There's-
restaurants.
There's another one. I forget what her name is, but she
God damn.
also she technically has a full room behind her, but you wouldn't know that until she also has a full body character model, so she can like walk back in the room and walk around and like dance and jump around and shit like that.
Oh, I
Like-
can't even think of the name, but I know on Instagram there's like a creator there. Like all she does is VR stuff, and she's
Mhm.
like got like she owns like all of the fucking haptic suits and everything. She's like, oh my god, I can play Blade the Sorcery with my own hands now, and that's cool. But I
Yeah.
mean, I don't know. I mean, it's just I don't know. It's weird to just think back. This is the thing too. Time moves faster the further we go through it. It seems to be to where we're at a point now where it's like looking back
Nick-
6 years ago, it feels like an eternity.
For
Oh man,
Nick,
Um,
there's a couple things
I saw-
to think about with that. For one, I think COVID fucked with everybody's sense of time, because that was like that was a weird like year
Hey,
and a
listen,
half to year cutoff. And
I
then
was ahead of the
another
curve.
thing is your perception. It's your perception of time that changes, because you have more time to reflect on, so fractions of time are shorter.
Are you trying
in
to
your
remind me?
entire
Are you trying?
reflection
Are you
of time?
are you trying to remind me in a delicate way that I am, yes, in my 40s now?
Yes, that is the
40s.
nicest way to call you old, I think.
Wow, you're young.
Yeah,
I
Rimshee's
didn't
like
feel like-
53.
I got an artist friend that's going
52.
to turn 46 this week.
It's weird. I saw somebody on YouTube actually. They had it just came up on my feed, and it's like celebrating 20 years on YouTube. What?
God damn, you've been here a while.
You've been here a while, but no, you're wrong. This website has not been around that long. The fucking in the
2005.
meantime by Space Hog came out 10 years ago, and I don't want to hear any more about that. It's just like fuck. And then I'm like, oh hey, my daughter just graduated from high school and now she has a job.
Yeah. My niece graduates from high school next year.
I'm fine with this. It's like, hey, you're closer to the grave. Oh my god, thank you for giving me a bright side.
Yeah.
You will die sooner than. It's like, yeah, the moment you realize like you're closer to your death than you are your birth. It's like on the one hand, you're like, oh man, that's fucked up. But then you think about life in this universe and you're like,
Why do you think I drink and
Kinda
smoke
nice
so much?
to
I'm trying
know.
to close the gap.
see, I'm trying to get sober just so that I can like cling on to all these moments of misery that would otherwise just slip by me when I was drunk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a happy stream.
It reminds me of that-
nonsense.
I'm
Reminds me of that old
encouraging-
Jeff Foxworthy joke where he
Clean
says,
living.
like, I want to be a burden to my children and I want to scare my grandchildren.
Yeah. That's totally fair
It's
goal.
like- Well, you see, like, what's that weird billionaire guy who did like a blood transfusion with his son? He's like dedicated to living forever.
Oh no, he's still doing it.
Yeah, I don't know, but yeah, you look at the guy and you think like, how much like, why would you want to live your life any longer than you had to? I know I wouldn't trade
Well,
places
he does.
with you.
He also does so much weird shit in order to live forever that the funniest thing to happen is if he got hit by a bus.
Yeah, right. It's like,
I don't know. What would be funnier, something extremely rare or something very common killing him?
oh, common, hands down.
Common.
Yeah,
Yeah.
something rare killing him would only kind of like it would like his dying words would be like, I knew I should have looked out for this.
Meteor insurance.
Yeah, as opposed to like he gets hit by a car, he doesn't get any last words. It'll just be like,
Depends on where the meteor hits him.
oh, you get
Can't
crushed
speak
by
if
a
you don't have
meteor?
lungs.
I mean, honestly,
Even
if
though
you
he'd
got
be
hit,
dead, it'd still be an ego boost if it was a rare death.
yeah, but at the same time,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, I mean, an ego boost in those like last fleeting moments before it goes dark. But I mean, even there,
No, I think his
Like,
ego's so big
that-
that it would live on. Honestly,
well, you know
That's-
me, I don't
I
believe in
think
Well,
it's
let's not
odd
God.
forget,
sentient
there's
thing.
always
his ego is.
there's
sentient.
always the David Carradine route.
No, I'm thinking
Oh,
to
that
myself
would
though.
be-
If a fucking no, think about this though. If a fucking space rock, like a piece of thing that's been hurtling through the universe for God knows millions of years, right? And that crashes to Earth and kills this one guy who's dedicated billions to living forever. I don't believe
might be
in
a
God. Yeah, I'd start
I'm-
reflecting. Yeah, I'd be like, maybe I don't know, maybe there is more order to this whole thing than I thought, apparently they got
Maybe there's a
good
little Icarus
goddamn
thing
sense of
going
humor.
on here.
a bit of a sense of
Nice.
humor there.
Yeah.
Like honestly, like Jeff Bezos rented out the whole city of Venice like if the whole city had finally sunk underwater while he was marrying that sex doll that he ordered from China, like, I'd be like, wow, okay, you know what? Our Father who art in heaven. No, I'm not Jewish anymore. I'm Catholic. They're the most. Those are scared people. I need to be with them. But then again, the fact that like all these people like exist, that's just further proof to me that God doesn't exist. Because oh man, smite them. Let's do it. Come on, big guy. Just like the word, like I know, like fucking what is it? R. Kelly had an OD, and I'm like, I want to meet the guy who gave him the drugs, just to shake his hand, and then wash my hands.
Wait, no. R. Kelly OD'd on the drugs prescribed to him. His doctor prescribed him a too high of a dose.
So what you're saying is RFK has been right this whole time.
I'm pretty sure R. Kelly requested the higher dose so that he could get high.
Listen, R.F. Kelly overdosed on sugars and didn't swim in enough sewage. That kind of walked away from me a little bit, but
he
see
didn't
where I'm
overdose
going.
on sugars because then he'd have diabetes, and the people that he pissed on would have been able to tell because his piss would have been sweet. That's how Patrice O'Neal found out he had diabetes.
I don't use Chat GPT, but I would love to see an AI mock-up of R.F. Kelly Jr. What we need to do to improve health is to piss on young women. Okay, hang on. Continue.
Yeah.
God, my brain's just going nuts now with R.F. Kelly.
By the way, my mom says hi, everybody.
Hello, Mama Jables.
You made a son, and he survived.
Speaking of which,
It's honestly, yeah, I figured as much.
All right.
Have you ever told
Yeah,
your
she
mom
can't
about
hear.
how you were the little? Have you ever told your mom about how you were like the little guy, the small man in the TV?
I don't think so.
I need to reach out to Christine, but yeah, yeah, that was a thing for a while. But anyway,
Yeah, I
I'm
might have
glad.
told him about that. But
Well, I'm glad your mom survived RFK Kelly Jr.'s COVID vaccination, because she doesn't deserve that. She's a good lady.
well, she was smart like me. We both got the Johnson & Johnson. Duh.
And now this feels like a flashback. Yo, which vaccine you get? Oh, I got
Yeah.
the Johnson. I got the Pfizer one. Oh shit! All right, well,
I was just too lazy to go back a second time. It was just going to be annoying to me.
I still remember the doctors asking me like, "Do you have a preference?" I'm like, "What a preference about pharmaceutical companies?"
Still, regardless, I still haven't gotten COVID. As far as I know.
You need to step your game up then.
I've gotten it a couple of times, and it was like the first one wasn't that bad, but the second time it's just like I caught it at a concert on
Yeah.
Tuesday. On a Tuesday. And like I was fine, but then like Thursday night going into Friday morning, it's just like, man, I'm all stuffy and it's kind of hard to sleep. And then I get up because I have to go to the grocery store and I take a shower. And by the time I get out of the shower, I'm like, oh man, I feel bad. And then I get to the grocery store and I'm like sitting there in my car. I'm like, I don't know if I can get out of the car.
Yeah.
Like it just like rapidly escalated.
It's funny.
I thought
actually,
this was gonna be. I thought driving an ice cream truck was going to be the time I finally get COVID because I'm handling a lot of money. I'm dealing with kids too. Like, they're fucking gross. And yeah, no, still so far nothing. I mean, knock on wood. But
Yeah.
you know,
The worst part
see what
about that,
happens.
though, is that my dad also caught it and then gave it to my grandma, and it put her in the hospital for a bit.
I'm sorry
It's
to
not
hear
fun
that, Dina.
times.
It's tangential,
What?
but like actually, I was looking at my like
Dina's
my
got
own,
the coof.
like my YouTube
Yeah.
Oh
stats.
no!
I still have I still have an unremovable strike against my channel for that one time when I got my vaccination and I was like complaining. I'm like, yeah, I'm not gay. I don't have magnet powers. Like, you know, that's
Hold on.
bullshit. They bullshitted me. Just from this, yeah, the Saints show one time. Yeah, I still have a strike for medical misinformation.
Yeah. Hold on. Yeah, Dina, go relax. Yeah, Dina's got COVID. Go relax. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I
like the
imagine
worst
you
of
guys
the
got labeled
symptoms
for
were gone
misinformation
in
a
a
lot.
day. I said the worst of my symptoms the last time I had it were gone in a day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Now,
just
to
needed
be
to sleep.
fair-
After that, I was good.
The worst part of it is that, well, the most irritating part of it is that, like, for weeks afterwards, I had a persistent dry cough, and I just walking around sometimes it's just like, fuck, I can't get my breath back.
Yeah. To be fair, I might have gotten COVID at some point, but I never tested positive. So
Said aside from the nagging cough and like breathlessness thing, I still prefer it to any time I've ever had the flu, which just completely fucking destroys me.
all right. Yeah. So, speaking of health stuff, do you guys want to talk about how climate change is going to make us all vegans?
What? Oh no. What did you find?
It is Rimshee. It's the latest article that I posted in Topics.
Oh, yeah.
It's one that I meant to post much earlier. Sorry, I posted it so close to the show, but I was looking through everything in there, and I was like, wait, where the fuck
Well,
is this?
here it is.
Oh
Nick,
boy,
I'm
The
gonna.
Guardian. I'm so excited.
Yeah, who wants to read this?
You do. You brought it up.
I can do
No,
it.
I kind of want Nick to read it or Sir to read it.
I'm trying
I don't-
to find. Well, I mean, like I looked into news suggestions and the last one.
Nick,
was crap.
I DM'd it to you. You can't see the other ones.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no.
But sir, you can read it if you want.
All right. Coming to us from the Guardian. Explosive increase of ticks that cause meat allergy in U.S. due to climate crisis. Unusually aggressive Lone Star ticks, common in the southeast, are spreading to areas previously too cold for them. Blood-sucking ticks that trigger bizarre allergy to meat in the people they bite are exploding in number and spreading across the U.S. to the extent that they could cover the entire eastern half of the country and infect millions of people, experts have warned. I don't know if any of you have ever, like, encountered ticks. I've had a couple on me before. Thankfully didn't get bitten. But the most fun one was, like, coming home after visiting my uncle's house. And I was sitting in my bed reading a book, and I felt something on my face, and I just, like, reached up to scratch it. And when I pulled my hand out, I was like, oh, hi! I'm going to smash you with great prejudice now.
Yeah, the ticks that you guys have over there are way more extreme than the ticks that we have over here on the West Coast.
Yeah.
And this tick in particular is just a better reason to say West Coast, Best Coast.
I live in
Fuck this tick.
Louisiana.
This
Everything
tick is-
here. the deep south is the Australia of America.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, guess
Not
what?
wrong.
Cockroaches are like 4 inches long. Oh, okay, cool. And they fly. What? And they bite. What? Why? I don't know.
Well, even the little ones bite sometimes.
Like, we've also got these giant reptiles that survived the extinction of the dinosaurs, and they're just a common feature of the landscape.
My guys,
Yeah.
like I live in my bus, parked in my buddy's place. He's got a river behind his house. So I come out of my bus sometimes to like go in.
So you're
use
in a
the
van
bathroom
down
or
by the
take a
river?
drink. I am in a van down by the. Yes, I am. I
It's a
am.
government cheese!
But this is the modern age. We call it a starter home. But no, fucking the whole fucking backyard's like dead black at night,
Nope.
and I stepped off my bus, and then I heard a large creature
What the hell's going on?
of some kind.
Suddenly
just
I have
shuffling.
no audio.
What?
What?
Although
What
that
do you
could
mean we
just
have
be
no
on my
audio?
end.
Rimshee's
is-
retarded.
yeah.
Quick.
Yeah.
Everybody say the worst
Damn
things
it,
you
Rimshee.
can about him. He's wearing that hat because he doesn't have a hairline.
I
He's,
bet he would have had more fun in the Navy.
There we go.
Ooh.
I have
But then he'd lose his favorite snack.
connection again.
Okay.
My earbud died on me.
Ah.
No warning?
No warning. Just
Anyway,
I'm
giant,
good.
giant
Hate it when that
creatures
happens.
in the dark.
Anyways,
yeah,
we didn't
yeah.
take that time to talk shit about you.
Yeah. All I know is like
Also, I
stepped
would
out
not have
in
had
the
more
dark.
fun in the Navy.
How do
Air
you
Force
know
women are where it's at.
that? You're absolutely right about that. God damn it! Now I'm like, dude, now I'm remembering MEPS, and I'm like, yeah, I'm going to the army, and like all of these like hot blondes with like fucking great everythings are just like, oh, I'm going into the Air Force. Yeah. Can I do that now?
Like-
No, you're an infantryman. Okay, are there
wait,
girls like this in the army? Sure.
Yes, but good luck finding them.
Like,
Hold on.
you know,
Wait.
the girls
Check
got
the
an ass
recruitment
like
poster.
girls in the army got asses like 80s air conditioners. They just stick out, and they're big and they're boxy and they drip a bunch. Sorry, what? No, you'll be fine. Have you guys, by the way, seen the I guess it's an actual like military recruitment thing, but like on Instagram and Facebook and all that, like there are a shit ton of like thirst trap hotties in the services just doing videos
Yeah.
like, so this is my morning routine. It's like, wait, hang on, you're actually like there's gonna be dudes who join like the Marines or the Army thinking like, yeah, I'm gonna meet like this fucking smoke show. It's like you get there and
Yeah.
it's just like, this is what Velma looks like if Chat GPT made her.
Don't get me wrong, there were plenty of smoke shows while I was active. You just didn't see them as such during working hours.
Yeah. Yeah. Now they're probably giving them all pistol belts, so it's like, no, we need to like cinch it in. We need that bell curve. Wait, isn't that a racist thing? No, I mean hourglass. Sorry, hourglass. We need hourglass. That's military rigs now.
I mean, we all.
They were.
It's
they
nothing
were
new.
bells.
They all they all end up with a belt.
We all
curve,
know-
You know what I mean?
We all know Tony Scott back in the day got a cut from the Navy recruiting center for fucking Top Gun.
For
Yeah,
Yeah, I
that
don't know
was
the
like that movie was fucking gospel
Top
while I
Gun
was
may
in training.
as well just been a Navy recruiting video.
oh yeah,
that was that was religious in the barracks while I was going through swim qual.
Of course,
I
you know,
still
like
find-
when it's a movie that primarily features the coolest goddamn airplane ever created, it's easy to see why.
I
still
saw
kind of
I saw Hot
I-
Shots and Hot Shots Part 2 first, so I don't really.
I still
That could have been worse. You could have seen Iron Eagle. Ugh.
I still find it funny though how many dudes like watched like movies like Black Hawk Down, where it's really just about like elite troops just getting chewed the fuck up and how fucking awful it is. But it was
Because
like
of
it was
shit
really
planning and bad circumstances all around.
and a whole shit ton of dudes, and I was one of them. Like watched that movie, it's like, man, I want to be in the army. Like, hang on, did we watch the same movie? Because I don't think I'd want to do any of that. None of it looked fun, and I don't think it was.
Granted,
And I don't think any of
fair-
them are
To be
okay
fair,
anymore.
Ridley
I'm going
Scott-
to I'm going to the reservation tomorrow to pick up a bunch of fireworks. I
Oh,
mean,
so what? You
we're
don't
blowing
want the
shit up in
U.S. Army
school.
in your mind too much? It's like
I
I'm
live
gonna
near
try
a
not to
base.
mention the. I'm not. Yeah. Well, yeah, that's
well,
why
it's
the
an Air
res is
Force
there.
base, so it's a little different.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's a lot easier to eradicate native peoples when you have an air force than it is when you just have dudes in blue.
That's not what I'm
jackets.
doing. Jesus Christ!
I'm
dude.
not accusing
Gonna
you of
get me
that.
in
I'm just
trouble.
saying. I'm just saying.
People are
Don't
gonna
play
walk over my
taps.
house.
Don't play taps when you get there. Is all I'm saying.
I'm just.
Don't play. Don't
They
play
already
Reveille.
play taps every night.
No, it's just gonna. I had this conversation with a buddy of mine though. He's like, have you ever noticed it's weird, like a lot of Nazi dudes watch American History X and think it's a movie for them. I'm like,
Yeah, it's
Actually,
literally like they
yeah.
don't get to the end.
yeah, it's like, did we watch the same movie? Yeah, it's like people watch fucking Apocalypse Now and be like, man, I wish I could have been in Vietnam. I'm like, what? Hang on,
Well,
was that a sentence you
that has a
actually
lot
made
to
with
do
your
with
face?
that has a lot to do with just idolizing history, misunderstanding and idolizing history.
Or
And romanticizing it.
comprehension skills in general. That's
Yeah, no, it's like I was writing about this earlier though. It's like the worship that Americans have for like the warrior. Like I've met a lot of like actual spec ops guys, like real operators, SEALs. Fucking, I met one
Yeah.
Delta dude, right? And the thing is not a single one. I never met a single one who was like, "Oh yeah, dude," like they'll say like, "Oh, it was awesome what I was doing," but when it's like when it got to like the meat and gristle of what they were doing, it was like, I mean, I did what I had to do. Like, oh yeah, hang on. So it's not like it's not Call of Duty.
When they talk about like a lot of the training stuff and just like blowing stuff up for training stuff, yeah, all that shit's awesome. When it comes to like the real thing, it's like this is awesome in training, but oh man, people.
I noticed with the SEALs that I've met, they tend to fall into like, especially SEALs, but they tend to fall in like two distinct kind of classes when they're out. One is the, oh fuck, I'm only good at this one thing, and I don't know if I can function. And the other ones are like the Jocko Willenieks, like, I'm going to start a podcast. I'm going to talk about how you just need to knife hand everything. Just point at something with all of your fingers, and then go and get it. Like, what if my ambition
Don't insult
is,
the
doesn't
knife
matter.
hand. Don't insult the knife hand.
How else can you point at a thing? If
Also,
only
I
fingers
only
had
know
of
tips.
one way. I only know of one way.
When I played Army of Two, I was the knife guy with my buddy, and he'd be sitting there, and like people that we were fighting against would be behind cover, and I'd just look at him and I'd say, "Hey, cover me." And we were doing couch co-op for this. This was a Army of Two Devil's Cartel, to be more specific for everybody out there. And I just look at him and I go,
That was a game.
"Cover me," and I just start jumping over obstacles and just start knifing everybody.
That's literally
I went
how
full
warfare.
Puerto Rican with it.
That's literally how real warfare works. Sometimes you even get a sword. Like I can't tell you the number of guys I talked to who fought in Iraq who were like, yeah, and I was just like, I went in, I just dropped my gun, and I drew my sword, and then I was like, I was fucking stacking stats every time. It was +2, +2, +2 on each new enemy. Yeah, that's how it works, and everyone should join the military so that they can do that.
You know,
Well, fuck, man. Like back in World War II,
To be fair, Army
Japanese
of Two Devils Cartel is
officers
a
had
mercenary
standard
gang.
issue swords.
Yeah, well, Japanese
which
officers
is
also
pretty
had
dope.
pistols that would shoot them in the foot if they touched the side too hard.
Yeah, not wrong.
So, do we?
don't
You
talk
ever
about
see that?
When
You
I
ever see
was
that one
active
Japanese
duty,
World War II pistol prototype that had a sword attached to it?
oh yeah, I remember.
It's just
this.
a pistol with a sword coming out of the top.
Listen,
Yeah.
the
Dude, the
Japanese,
craziest-
like, they needed World War II so that they could learn to make anime. They're like, oh, wait, this is where our ideas of combat actually belong.
You know what? And Full Metal Alchemist is awesome. So, like,
I will say this though, while I was active duty, the craziest confirmed kill we heard of was with an MRE spoon. I knew so many guys after that who either planned or started carrying around a sharpened MRE spoon just in the hopes that they'd get a confirmed kill with it.
I'm just remembering Alan Rickman from Robin Hood.
Why a spoon? Because it's dull, you twit. It'll hurt more.
Yeah.
that's actually really funny to me because I remember I grew up. My dad was a corrections officer, and he would tell me about like all sorts of improvised weapons and stuff like that.
Oh,
And
you
we
can
would watch
fucking
documentaries about them too and stuff, like how to make a crossbow out of newspaper, well, magazines and like an underwear elastic band. And then like I learned how to make a taser out of a disposable camera.
Oh, dude, I remember growing up. I had this friend in high school who was like, he was a Russian immigrant, right? And he was. I've talked to you about it before.
And then I shared that information at church camp.
Where you should. That's almost like prison. That's practically prison. Like, hey, guys, we're gonna melt down all of these plastic forks and we're gonna make something. What are we making? Don't worry about it.
I'm just saying, man, some of them Bible studies as a kid dragged on for what felt like decades.
Yeah.
Oh.
No,
this was
dude, he got. All right, I'll continue.
What?
No, I was just gonna say, like, this buddy of mine got sent to prison when he was 16 for some really wacky shit. And yeah, he got out after like about 6-7 months, and he comes back, and I'm like, "Hey, did you get fucked in the shower or something?" He's like, "No, I just watched people fucking the shower though." I'm like, "Oh, that's fun." What? So how was it? And he's like, "Watch this." And he takes the tinfoil out of a cigarette pack and twists it up into this little like string, and then he takes a AA battery and shows me how to light a cigarette with a AA battery. And he's like, just pinch it here and it'll get really hot. Like, wow, we need more work programs and like educational programs. People in prison are fucking creative.
Yeah, like
how do
I
we
learned how to do
enough
you can
time
do this.
being
You can
idle.
you can do the same thing with a gum wrapper. I used to do that all the time when I didn't have a lighter when I was in middle school.
I'm just thinking, like, if we want to really innovate in this country, like, we need to stop looking to like douchebags in Silicon Valley and just like find dudes who like did 10 years inside. Be like, hey, listen, we've got an energy crisis. Here's our data. Oh yeah, for real, man. All you need to do is like, you're just wasting time with this. Just hook the grid up like this, and you know what? We can if you just put some tinfoil into an electrical socket, man, you could power anything.
Yeah.
I don't know why he was a cholo.
Cold fusion happens and we have infinite energy.
And dude, I would love that, dude.
It's like-
Cold fusion discovered by an ex-con cholo. It's like, do
Who's
you have
just
any
like-
formal
As
background
long as
in
he's not a
physics or
chomo.
engineering?
It doubles as a tortilla warmer.
Just like it's like he
So-
discovers cold fusion.
So,
So,
it
are you an
does-
engineer?
It does
No,
produce it does
kinda.
produce a little heat, but we can use that to warm tortillas.
Thing is we just all we have to do is just vent the heat. We just vent the heat off into heat sinks, yeah, and then we use that heat to actually power other generators, yeah.
Yeah.
What? Are you an engineer? Nah, I was just in Quentin for a while. I did my
I got
time
a-
in the SU.
I had somebody smuggle me in a
Oh man, we
biolet. I
talking
tried
about
to figure out how it worked.
Because I could really use some
By
of
the
them
way, I
clan
do
double heat
have-
sinks, man.
I do have a little camp stove that I bought a long time ago. Because what it does is it uses the heat to like charge your phone and stuff. And this was when I was going to go work on the pot farm in California. So I got that so I could make sure I could like charge my phone and like Bluetooth speakers and stuff and cook food at the same time. So that like and it's like the size of a thermos, like a small thermos. It's like that big. Actually,
See, the only reason we don't have cold fusion right now is because it would not be profitable, and we don't have enough cholos working on it. Like honestly, like you know what? Yeah, Mexicans, they farm our crops and build our houses. Let's fucking just take them and be like, go to Home Depot, pick up like a dozen day laborers, bring them to CERN. They'll figure it out.
yeah.
So hang on,
And
so the proton.
Give them access to the microscopes and everything so that they can
I-
see what they're working with. And
I don't
then-
know. I don't know if I don't know if I'm qualified to say, man, but I think maybe you're just moving the proton a little too fast. Just maybe slow it down a little bit. Why didn't we think of that?
Apparently, we've got some guys in Virginia that are getting pretty close to working out a fusion reactor.
Nice.
Well, that's the
Like,
thing about human ingenuity, though. There was
if
that
they
guy.
can get it where they want it, they're saying it could potentially produce 400 megawatts, which would power 150,000 homes.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean,
Nice.
there was that one guy. I keep seeing it brought up. Like it was like some dude, I think in Georgia or something. Like he found like one of our random missing nukes because that's the thing we do in this country. It was like he found it like in the ocean, and he used it to power his house for 28 years.
Oh no!
I mean, I can't say if that story is true, but I really hope it is because honestly, like, yeah.
Wait, did you
like,
say
know,
Idaho?
You give a I think it was Georgia.
Georgia's
okay.
way up. Yep.
Okay, you said Idaho.
Yeah, well, I mean, because
that
that's-
sounds like
well, no,
something that
that's-
would happen
that's-
in Idaho.
Oh,
though.
no.
We've
Well,
had
no,
more
that's-
than
that's one
one
of the
nuke
fun-
just fall out of a plane and then be
We
unaccounted
have-
for.
Yeah, we've lost a few. They're kind of kicking around here and there, and you know,
They're mostly
if you
in the
want to
water,
power
though.
your house with it,
No,
Yeah.
yeah.
which
One thing that's
fine.
fun about the area I'm in now is all the abandoned missile silos. there's quite a few.
Oh,
You
dude,
can just crawl in
dude.
them. There's no cameras
No,
or anything.
no, you know what's funny is like if you look online, you can find there are real estate listings for like missile sites, missile silos, decommissioned ones that you can just like buy, and if you want to convert it into something. I had a buddy because they had one where it was a covert. I think it was upstate New York, nuclear missile silo, right? So deep silo. Tons of rooms, tons of all this shit. And then on top, they had like they put like a really nice kind of like ranch house or some shit to like disguise the property. And it was on the market for like 1.2 million. But it's like, yeah, you're buying a dope house with like a huge spread of property and a fucking missile silo you can do whatever you want with. Like, I'd make apartments. I'd be like, oh, I solved the housing crisis. How? With the Cold War.
There's a
Yeah, but then you get in there and
There's
it's
a-
like fucking Metro 2033. It's just like, oh no, this was a mistake.
Listen, I'm really good at making
there's-
mistakes. Give
what-
me $1.2 million. I will make you the biggest mistake you've ever seen.
I don't.
One
doubt
thing
that.
I'm very happy about is that even though I am close to a target for like a nuke, it's not like one of the main targets. And if it does get hit with a nuke, I'm fucked. I'm just dead. No big deal. If it doesn't, I am also very close now to all of my contingency plans with all of my old farmer friends and shit like that. So I just drive off to them. Yo, what up, guys?
Like,
Hey, I'm here to help.
how close is the Air Force Base?
It's closer than he
I don't wanna say.
indicated. It's like, what, on the other side of a field?
Hey, come on. I thought I said that in private.
Homeland Security is just going to be like knocking down your door, like, why are you giving out coordinates for our bases? Like,
It's on Google
did.
Maps.
No, this is a very well-known base. You can see it on a map. It's fine.
Yeah, it's on.
yeah, we're talking Homeland. Yeah, but we're talking Homeland Security. There's no way they'd know that. They'd just be like, no,
That's
that was a
fair.
secret. It's got a sign on the street.
It's got a sign on the street. You see it on Google Maps.
You just kind of look at him and be like, you got all C's in high school, didn't you?
Yeah. Well, C's get degrees, you know.
Yeah, I'm gonna fuck off and go make burritos now. I just wanted to pop in, just fuck y'all stream up, and maybe bring some. I saw you had 2 viewers for a minute on YouTube, and now there's just me. So
Yeah.
Yeah, we get most of our viewership on Twitch.
well,
That's one of the
You know,
reasons
it's
we
like-
stay on Twitch. Well,
yeah,
we
I got an email.
simulcast,
From
so.
Twitch. I got an email from Twitch saying like, "Hey, your favorite streamer is gonna be at TwitchCon, will you?" And I'm like, I don't have a favorite streamer.
Hey.
I don't like.
I didn't
Well, I
know
do
I had a
now.
favorite streamer. Who is it?
Wait, hang on. Is it Asmongold? Is he gonna
I'm
be
your
there?
favorite streamer. I'm not gonna be at TwitchCon though, so that's a lie.
God damn, that sounds like a strangely dystopian novel title. Your favorite streamer.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna fuck off and go make burritos.
Have
All right,
fun.
Nick. While you're making burritos, I want you to think about how much I hate the fact that a lot of people are calling streaming services streamers, and it's really confusing to me when I listen to podcasts when they're talking
Dude,
about
I am the
Netflix and
biggest-
Paramount Plus and shit like that. Think about
I
that
am
while
the-
you're making your burritos. We're ending the show, so just go.
I'm the biggest content creator
We'll
on
talk
Disney
later.
Plus.
Well, I left at the right time. That's been a show, guys. Yeah.
All right. So, next week we're doing what? Wednesday?
Wednesday works for me.
Wednesday at 5. Because I'm
Wednesday at 5?
with this new job, I'm cutting it a little too close at 4:30.
Sounds fair. Sounds fair.
All right, next week
Wednesday
will
at
be
5 next week.
Wednesday at 5 next week, and potentially going forward.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes.
All right. Have a good night,
Yeah,
everyone.
I'm going to have set days off. Yes, 5 PST. Thank you, Vampire, for mentioning that, because it always pissed me off when nobody else would mention the
Yeah.
time
5
zone.
p.m.
Yes, 5
Pacific Standard Time or Pacific Daylight Savings Time. Whatever the fuck. When it's 5 o'clock on the West Coast.
Yeah. If it's 8 your time now,
8
it
o'clock
is 6
for
p.m. our
me.
time right now. So it's 6 p.m. for our time right now. So extrapolate that. There you go. That's your time. So yes, it'll be 7 your time. 5 p.m. our time. Mine and Rimshee's. Sir's, it's gonna be 8 o'clock. Hope he's cool with that.
Yep.
Go.
All right, everyone. Take care.
All right.
Well, bye.
Bye bye.